Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on my channel and another update of my lipstick project pan, which is one of two project pans that I am on this year. One is just my regular all types of products accepted project pan, and the other one is specific to my lip products. Not necessarily just lipsticks, but we've got lip liners, we've got things that I don't really know how to categorize, like liquid lipsticks. But the impetus for doing this is that my lip product collection is simply too large, especially when it comes to my lip products that are in deep shades. I used to love dark lipsticks. I used to just think it was such a cool look to be rocking a dark lip. And now I'm sure this is somewhat, if not mostly, affected by the fact that dark lips are not in as much anymore. I have found myself turning away and really finding it challenging to wear dark lip colors. But yet I still have all of these dark lippies. And I think it's easier to declutter lipsticks or even lip liners, but when it comes to products where there's like an applicator like this, it's a doe foot and it goes in something else, you know, it's not quite as sanitary. You can't really clean that, and so it's a lot harder to pass on to someone else. So I have taken it upon myself. It has become my mission to try to use these products as best as possible and see if I can, in fact, use them up. Inevitably, some are going to get decluttered, and I will of course mention that today because that has happened since the last update. But for the most part, I just want to get use out of these. Now, I would love to pan them. I don't know how realistic that is, so if I can just get use out of them, then that is still at least better than last year when I didn't reach for any of them at all. So we started the year with 9 dark lip products to focus on, and I actually decided before I even filmed the first video that I was going to declutter one of them. This was a ColourPop lipstick. It smelled off. The shade was off. Like, the formula was not as good as it used to be. So I decided to declutter it. So I started with 8. And now that we are at the second update, we are down to 7 because I, in fact, decided to declutter a second lippy between the first update and today, and it happened fairly early on. I guess I should just mention what it is. This is the KVD lipstick. This was definitely the darkest out of the lot. Now, again, all of these are deep purplish shades, but that one was kind of more of like a brown, so I found it even more challenging to pull off. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a tough shade to wear out and about, but it was not as ostentatious as that shade. So because I found it really challenging to wear, and I actually didn't even love the formula, I only love the packaging, I decided that it was time to say goodbye, and because it is a lipstick, maybe I will be able to find someone else to pass it on to. That would be the goal. That product was actually decluttered to me by a friend, so I didn't even purchase it outright. Hopefully it will go to another friend or on Facebook. Buy Nothing, I recommend joining one of those if you are looking to rehome items in your collection that are still very usable. So I'm glad I made that decision. However, that was the only other declutter that I decided to make. I can't see myself decluttering any of the other lip products at this point, but who knows? It's hard to say. It has only been just over 2 months, so maybe at the halfway point I will be really tired of some of these products. At this point I don't feel like I am, because 7 products is still a decent number to be rotating between, especially because these are not the only products that I wear on my lips. As I mentioned, I still find it very challenging to wear these out and about. Like, I would go out wearing this, however, I'm probably not going to gravitate towards it. So, for example, last night I went to see a community theater show that my friend produced, and I didn't bring one of these lippies. I felt like it would be a bit much for that performance. I think I was wearing my NYX Istanbul lippy, which is just one of my favorites, just a great matte light pink. And then today I also have plans with friends, and again, I'm probably not gonna wear a dark lippy. I'm probably gonna wear a brown or a light pink because that's just what I gravitate to. Even though I I like this look. Like I actually do. I think this lip looks good, and I will show you what I'm wearing. This is the NYX Auburn lip liner. This is the only lip liner in this lipstick project pan, and this is the Tarte Lip Paint in Rave. I have been using this lip liner a lot over the past 2 months, this one not as much. And I think that's just because this is the only lip liner I have in the project, whereas I have a lot of lippies. So I might start off the day wearing a lip liner and a different lippy, and I can wear that lip liner every single day of the week and then just rotate between the lipsticks. Anyways, we should probably go through the lip products one by one. Some of them are measurable, obviously not the ones like this, but with the lipsticks and the lip liner, I can actually measure how much progress I've made, if indeed I have made any. Fingers crossed, some of them have been better about reaching for than others. And let's just get into it and see how the first couple months of my lipstick project pan have gone. I really thought I tracked the size of all of these. I tracked the first one, my lipstick project pan, you see, I tracked the first one, the NYX lip liner, and then for whatever reason, I decided not to track the height of the rest of them, which I feel like I should, because, like, yes, I can compare pictures, but that only goes so far when you're not using it a ton. That is more satisfying to see like the minute differences that can only be tracked. So let's track it now. This is the Revlon Black Cherry, one of my favorites in this project. This is one of the ones that I found easiest to reach for over the past 2 months because it can kind of layer over whatever. It doesn't disrupt the product underneath. It's very creamy, and as long as you've got a somewhat deep lipstick, even if it's like a lighter shade, I find that it mixes well with other products. That being said, I didn't use it a ton. There is one that I reached for far above all the rest because I was really trying to pan that one, and the others got a little bit neglected because of that. So towards the first probably 2 weeks that I was working on the lipstick project pan, this got a decent amount of use, but then after that, I've just been focusing on that one. But I still did use it for sure more in the previous 2 months than I had in the previous year before that. So that's something. Still really like this, love the packaging, but challenging for sure. Challenging shade to wear. And I got so many comments in my last video talking about how much people love the dark lip products just in general, but also on myself. So thank you so much for all your comments. That was really nice. Definitely a confidence boost and a way of motivating myself to wear colors like this out of the house more often. Hasn't worked yet, but I have hope. I do. I am going to see a movie later today. Maybe I think I'm gonna rock this to the movie theater. Although my partner is a popcorn every time we see a movie person, so I don't think popcorn will work too well with this lip, but whatever. The second product that I have listed here is the one that I was focusing on almost exclusively for at least the past month. This is the Revlon Lip Cushion Tint. I really thought I could get it finished. So challenging to tell how much is left because it's completely opaque, but I thought I was sort of getting a sense that there wasn't much left because this is a twist up product. When I twisted it, it seemed like less product was coming out each time, but now I'm not so sure about that because I didn't like film how much used to come out and versus how much comes out now. So now I just don't remember if it's the exact same amount that it used to be, you know, but I will show you how much comes out. So nothing came out. Sometimes nothing comes out. There, now some's coming out. I'll just layer it on top. I will say, I realize this is my least favorite like mechanism for product to come out. Lipsticks are fine. I guess doe foots are fine. I guess pumps are also fine, but the kind where you twist it up and the top is this like weird cushion that gets stained with the product and that you start worrying is just completely covered in bacteria. That's not great. Now I know people have issues with the Charlotte Tilbury and also e.l.f. Halo Light wands because of that, because it is like, you know, a cushion and you're like, oh, it feels not super sanitary. I feel like that is still better than this because at least with those products, you're just putting it on your skin, right? Like I use the bronzer light wand thing today and it's interacting with my skin product and with like my foundation, but it's not getting in my mouth at least. Whereas with this, I feel like when I put it on my lips, maybe some of it is going in my mouth. I'm eating some of it, or some of my like mouth bacteria is getting on this. So it smells good, like it's got a pleasant scent, but it just kind of weirds me out. I just want to be done with this sooner rather than later. So just yesterday, actually, I put it back in my drawer so that I would focus on the other lip products, because I was just really getting tired of this. I was finding almost that it was like staining my lips. Like I would use this, you know, probably 5 times throughout the day. And as the day went on, the around my lips, like surrounding area, would just look more and more, I don't know, just like colored of this color, but like unevenly. So I am currently on a little hold with this. I'm going to take about 2 weeks off from it, focus on the other lip products, and then come back to it. But I think this is the number one product that I would like to finish this year, just because it is a lot less sanitary than any of these other ones, even though some of these are doe foot, which is not sanitary, but this feels less so. I've also never seen anyone else talk about this product. Does anyone have this? How old is it? Actually, don't answer that. I don't want to know. The next one is the NYX lip liner, which is the only one that I managed to actually track the height of last time. So let's see if progress has been made. I think it has been, because I feel like I've used this a decent number of times. I feel as if I use this as lip liner at least 3 times a week. I haven't used it as eyeliner at all, I don't think, since having it in this lipstick project pan, but as a lip liner I have been doing well with using it frequently, and I even sharpened it I think a few days ago. This is what we're looking like, and I did wear it today under all of this. So let's measure it. Ooh, okay. Yeah, we've got some progress. It's not like super impressive, but it's probably quicker than it was before that. So that is, it went from there to there. That's a good like 3 millimeters. Honestly, I was hoping for more, but at this rate, it seems feasible to get it done this year. There are 2 lip liners that I want to finish this year, this one and the Annabelle one. That one is not included in this lipstick project pan because it is not dark. It is more like a light pink shade. And sometimes I love that one, sometimes I don't love it as much. I sort of go back and forth. This one, I do think it's a good lip liner, but it's just not, like, I think the formula of this one is better than the Annabelle one. It's just a shade that I reach for less frequently. Julia Adams was talking about that sort of dichotomy in a video I watched recently when she was talking about her lip liners. She said that if a product has like a great shade or even like a line of shades, but she doesn't love the formula, she's still more likely to reach for those lip liners than one that has a better formula but shades that she doesn't like, because ultimately it comes down to the look sometimes more than like the feel or the longevity. All this to say, this one is fine. Not a favorite, not something I'd be reaching for this frequently, if not for the lipstick project pan. The next one are the Revlon Lip Shines. Unfortunately, these are another 2 that we're just gonna have to guess about how much progress has been made, because you cannot tell. I have found, I can't remember which one, maybe the matte one, this almost operates more like a lip stain, so I need to keep that in mind, because that can actually be a great thing. Last week, I play violin in a local orchestra, and we had one of our concerts last week, and I applied this in the morning. Like, I wasn't planning to have this as my lip product for the day, for the concert, but it was actually still on my lips by the time we had the concert later that day. And I sort of layered other things on top, but I was like, this is actually, it's kind of nice to have a lip stain, because, you know, those Satuu lip stains are really popular right now. I'm not planning to buy one of those. I don't need more lip products, but knowing that I have something that is a potential lip stain is useful. So I'll play around with layering it with other products and seeing, because it is quite deep, obviously, would it look good with lighter pinks, with neutrals, with nudes? I don't know, we'll have to play around with that. I find that the High Shine one, this is more glossy, is not as versatile for me because I just don't like glossy lips. You know, sometimes I'm in the mood for them, sometimes I like how they look, but to me a matte is just always going to be more comfortable, as long as it's a comfortable matte, and look better than a gloss. So These, I wouldn't say I got the most use out of, but still, again, more use than I had in the previous year together, probably. I should definitely try to compare them more, like do one on one half of my lips and the other on the other half, just so I get to know them better. I just feel like they're so similar, even though they're ostensibly different shades and different formulas. Can't really tell them apart too much. Let's talk about the other one that I'm wearing today. You can't tell as much now because obviously you watched me layer black cherry on top, but this Tarte Lip Paint is a different shade than all the rest, I would say, because it is less purple and more mauve. It's a lighter shade, but it's more dusty, like grayish almost. And also the formula is kind of weird because of how it I don't know, it seemed more 3D than the other ones. I also find that I don't know if it leaks or something, but this one just always feels oily. It's very off-putting. I don't know what it is. I think the formula is decent. It does stay somewhat, but I would say this is one of the ones that I've gotten the least use out of, if not the least out of all of these. So I don't know it super well yet. I did decide to use it in tandem with the NYX lip liner. I actually don't know if I prefer it by itself versus with another lip liner. I feel like whenever I used to use liquid lipsticks, I would just apply them by themselves. I would never use it with a lip liner. But I need to play around more with this. I think it's just tough because some of these I find are okay to wear without other makeup on in terms of how they look on my skin. Like a light pink or a neutral shade looks okay on my skin when I have no makeup on, but like a mauve I find really, really washes me out and makes me look a little bit sickly. So when I'm just home all day and I have no plans and I need to reach for a lippy, it's hard to reach for this because I know I'm not gonna like the way I look in it. But that being said, I'm gonna try to reach for it more. What do you think? Do you have any mauve shades like this? I kind of just wish these shades would come back into style so that I could wear them more, because I'm a bit of a scaredy cat when it comes to dark lips, as you can tell. The KVD lipstick, obviously, I decluttered, so let's cross that one out. I can't remember if it was January or February. Let's just say Feb, just in case. The other liquid lipstick that I have in this project is, I would say, the most similar color to that Tarte one, although still not quite as mauve and dusty. It is Brooklyn Thorn from NYX. Talked last time about how I have all of these NYX liquid lipsticks that I just shouldn't have bought in the first place. But I can't seem to declutter, which, by the way, if you're having a similar issue and you also cannot bring yourself to declutter products that you don't even like or use, I made a video about that here and discussing the reasons why we have these issues. So it's definitely more watery. The Tarte one is more dry, but this one, honestly, well, the Tarte one has dried down, but this one looks even more mauve in a way and grayish. This is another one that I have not gotten a ton of use out of. I think it's just tough with liquid lipsticks because I don't trust the way that they fade on my lips. So I know they're just not gonna look good, especially on the inside, and it's gonna, not gonna be a flattering look at all. And so I would rather reach for something like black cherry or even this Revlon Cushion Kiss, where it's gonna fade a little more gracefully and I'm not gonna have to do anything. Like with liquid lipstick, sometimes I actually have to remove whatever is remaining with makeup remover off my lips because it looks so bad. I would prefer a product to just fade. It doesn't even have to necessarily fade gracefully or evenly if it's a product that I'm mostly wearing at home or if I'm just gonna reapply it regularly. But it does need to fade eventually. I do not want to be removing my lip products with makeup remover if I'm just home. So yeah, I guess I'll set the assignment for myself to have these two as the go-tos for the next 2 months, and then hopefully I will feel a bit better. Because again, you can't tell how much is left in this at all. It's more about going off of how I feel about how I've used them. And I don't feel great about the two of them. Again, if I'm not focusing on one single product like I was with this one, then I can probably get better use out of all of them. I do tend to have that issue with project pans where I just hyper focus on one because I want to get it out. I want to not have to use it anymore. I want to finish it off. But because we just started the year, like I literally just started reaching for this regularly in January, 2 months ago, it might still be a long time before I finish this. So I can't put all of my eggs in one basket, as they say. I should be using them all equally until it starts to become clear which of them are somewhat close to panning, and then I can hyper focus on that one. There's still time left for that one. The final product in this lipstick project pan is my MAC Antique Velvet Lipstick. This is one that I really should be, oh no, that's Ruby Blue. This is one that I really should be decluttering, but it's an emotional issue. That's why I can't declutter it. It's because I have these 3 MAC lipsticks and I just like the way that they look on my vanity all together like this. Like, it's just so nice and uniform. Honestly, ideally, I would love to have 9, but I'm not going to get more lip products. I have way too many. So I have not wanted to declutter or pan this because I want those in a row, which is kind of dumb. Because have you ever noticed that in the background of my video? No, because they don't even sit in the background of my video. It's just for myself. Anyways, this is Antique Velvet. It's a very deep shade. It is the second least wearable in this lipstick project pan after the KVD one, which I decluttered for good reason. And you can tell there is a ton of it left, way more than how much is left of the Black Cherry Revlon lipstick. So let me mark where we're at. There we are. Yeah, tons left. I actually did reach for this somewhat in the past 2 months, but it still looks like there's a ton left. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see in the pictures, but just know I use this. I use this more than I did the liquid lipsticks for sure. I somewhat like the formula. Again, it doesn't fade super gracefully. Like, it's not the worst, but it's just tough when it's a super, super deep lipstick, because even if it is fading somewhat gracefully, it's gonna look funny as your lips go back to their regular color. Like, it's just so much of a contrast between your lip shade and the lipstick shade. But that is it. Those are all of the lip products in my lipstick project pan. Again, I'm so glad that so many of you are invested in this project because I really was not sure. I know lipstick project pan is so specific to be doing a project all about one type of product, but this is the only way that I can get full use out of all of my lippies. I highly encourage you to do the same. It doesn't even have to be lipstick. Like, if you have one part of your collection that is just way too big for you and so much bigger than any other part of your collection, then just work on project panning those items, or just work on even using them. They don't even have to get panned. But that is it for today's video. I will update you again probably at the 2 to 3 month mark after this. We will see how things go, although I don't feel like I'm gonna have a ton of updates in the next 2 months, so maybe more like 3 months. But let's talk about a book that I've been reading lately. So this is All This Could Be Different by Sarah Thankam Matthews. This is a book club book. I am in a book club and this was not my choice. One of my friends suggested this one and I didn't even vote for it because it didn't sound as interesting as the other book that I actually voted for. But I'm really glad they were reading this because it is so good. Again, 2025 has been such a good year for books for me. It is fairly new. I want to say it came out in like 2022 or something, but it is about like 2008, like around the financial crisis in the US time. Yeah, 2022. It's about this young woman. She's just graduated university. She is from India and her family moved from India to the US when she was in like middle or high school. She stayed to go to university. Her parents ended up moving back to India right when she started university, I believe. And so she has kind of been alone for all of her adult life. She feels very disconnected from her family, but also very attached to them emotionally. She really struggles because she is queer and she has not and does not plan to tell her parents. She lives in Milwaukee. I don't think I've ever read a book that takes place in Milwaukee before. That's kind of interesting. All of it takes place in the winter, it feels like. So it's just like a very desolate, cold place, and it sounds like there's not great public transit, and obviously she doesn't have a car, so she's just like always walking in the freezing cold. But it's so evocative. Like I can really picture where she's living and her surroundings, her settings, like the way that the author describes things is very interesting. And I also really appreciate the depiction of friendship. I don't, like, this is ostensibly a romance, but her relationship with her friends is very important, and I feel like you don't see that a ton in books, especially in romances. In fact, when we read romances in my book club before, I'm always complaining about the lack of friendships, or like there is one friend, but like they don't see each other that often. And I'm like, this just, not even because I think just that friendships should be portrayed more in depth in books, but also it's just not realistic. Like, people don't just have one friend. That's just not how life works. So when a book is about a protagonist and they're like falling in love with someone and there's no depiction of the rest of their life and like their social activities, or like, you know, going to the gym with friends, or going to your friend's party or birthday, or getting drinks with your group, like it just, if that is lacking in a book, then I just don't believe it's about a real person. So anyways, this is great. Love the depiction of friendship, and it just feels very honest and true. The writing style is a little bit different, but I really like it. So that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next week.